Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the KITZUR HILCHOS Shabbos. Today we're discussing Seudah Shabbos, the meals of Shabbos. Seudah Shabbos b'yomi ikar Seudah Shabbos, the main meal of your Shabbos eating, which is Friday night, Shabbos day, or Seudah Shlish is the third meal, is really considered the daytime meal. That's the main one. That's the longer one. People are often more awake for that one. It's after shul, after davening. There's more that a person can infuse, perhaps maybe into that meal. Someone has a tasty treat that they're saving for Shabbos. Save it for the daytime meal. Part of the einig of the pleasure of Shabbos is eating meat and fish. And even at nighttime, we have the same mitzvah of einig Shabbos, of enjoying the Shabbos. You should eat meat at night, meat, chicken, tasty treats. Unless the meat is damaging to you, your constitution has a very hard time perhaps to digest the red meat, or it's not an einig, you don't enjoy eating meat, the way that you enjoy eating other things. And this is an important part of the mitzvah of einig Shabbos, of enjoying and delighting and having pleasure on Shabbos, even though that we are suggesting things that bring a person pleasure. If to you it's not, then that's not einig Shabbos. And therefore, for example, like we said, if you have a very weak stomach and it's hard for your stomach to digest meat, and you're going to have a stomach ache instead of enjoying yourself, you don't have an obligation then. A person is a vegetarian, they're a vegan, they never eat meat, so they don't have to eat meat on Shabbos to say, I fulfilled my obligation of einig Shabbos, the pleasure of Shabbos. You'll find something else. You'll find some of your tasty vegetarian treats that you like, that's going to be ma'ala, that's going to elevate your Seudah. So whatever it is that we're eating for the sake of the pleasure, it really has to be that you are enjoying it. Move of a paiskim. It's brought in the halachic authority sheish inyan lechol dagim bechol hagimel sudos. There's a concept to eat fish by all of the three meals: Friday night, Shabbos day, and Seudah Shlishis, and the third meal as well. Kabbalistic reasons of the fish. Perhaps one of them, as I saw, is that fish is the only animal that we eat that we don't do shchita. You don't have to slaughter it ritually to be able to eat it. You just remove it from the water. It dies, and now you're able to eat it. Why do we slaughter an animal? An animal is a very earthy creature, very much entrenched in Olam Hazeh, in the earthly material matters of this world. The shechita separates it from this world and elevates that animal to a much higher level and a higher place. And then the Jew is allowed to partake and eat of it. The fish that's living in a different universe, it's living in the water, the pure waters. Waters are purifying. Waters are also known as Torah. A fish that is living already in that alternative universe, so to speak, already in a place of kedusha, of holiness and sanctity, doesn't need to have a shechita, a slaughtering, to be elevated to a new level. You just remove it from the water, and then you're able to eat it. So too, the tzaddikim of the generations, they're not drawn down by the materialism of this world, dragged into the mud, so to speak, that they need a separation from the world. They're already living in a universe of kedusha, of holiness, of sanctity. And therefore tzaddikim are likened to the fish in that manner. They're already swimming in the waters of Torah, and they have a natural separation from the world. On Shabbos, everybody has what's called a neshama yesera, a second soul, an extra soul that infuses us with more ruchnius, more spirituality, and the ability to get closer to Hashem. And therefore we're all kind of like that fish. We're all living in another world. We're all living in a world of kedusha, and therefore that is perhaps one of the reasons why we eat fish by all of the meals on Shabbos, to connect to our higher self. Gam mikavod Shabbos lafis nechamim. Also, for the honor of Shabbos, there's an inyan to bake bread. Challah v'noyagos kein oid mitam acher. There's another reason we do it as well. Not just to have the delicious, tasty, warm, sweet challahs by the Shabbos table, but also mitam acher kedei liten He's damnus l'kayim mitzvahs hafrashas challah. It gives a woman the ability to perform the mitzvah of separating challah, which is a great mitzvah, and it falls upon the woman to do such things. V'tzricha is lizayah, but a woman has to be very careful. Shim lasha is isa sheish basafik. If she kneads dough that needs kneads, she's kneading the dough, and she's not sure im yesh ba kemach kishir challah, if there's enough flour in there to be mafish, to take challah, shetifashena b'li bracha, she should take the challah, take the piece of challah without making a bracha on it. If she uses a regular, I believe it's a 5-pound bag of flour, she certainly does make a bracha. Less than that, she gets into a place of suffix, of doubt, and therefore, when in doubt, do without the bracha, still take the challah, but don't make a blessing on it. Have a wonderful day.